hands, how many of you have had back pain? Yeah, it's kind of common, huh? Everyone, did you guys know that the nervous system is consisted of the brain and the spinal cord? No?
Yes.
You did? Well, if your back looks like this, with the curve on it, it actually affects your nervous system and different organs that contribute to each thoracic bone on there. So today I brought a back brace because I actually had scoliosis, or actually I still do, but it's not as bad, so I would just wrap it around. It kind of looks like a waist strainer. I had to use this throughout high school because I was diagnosed with scoliosis. So I think with my presentation, I want to inform you guys that with the information of the history of the back brace and scoliosis, that it's important to know that having a healthy spine is really, really important because I took it for granted. And first I'm going to talk about the history of the back brace and scoliosis, and then I'm going to talk to you about why I identify with it, which I already told you, but I'll tell you furthermore. And to begin with, the first time scoliosis was dated back around 3500 BC, but it was not until a man named Hippocrates in the 5th century started to describe scoliosis, and he concluded that chronic poor posture was the cause of scoliosis, but it's also the genetics, because it's common in girls than boys. So when boys have it, it's probably from sports injuries or growth spurts, because guys grow more than girls, taller. And he also started experimenting with chest binders to help straighten the spine, and also did jackets. So they weren't proper for me is the lower back and the top. They have proper ones now. And over the years, the knowledge of scoliosis has advanced greatly. They have actual surgical procedures that are safer now. They're not guaranteed that they'll fix you because it's not as common for people to get surgery for it, but it has shown improvement in people. And it's also done proper exercises and proper back braces as well. And two, they've also found different methods of fixing it it's like yoga, chiropractor, massage therapy, and physical therapy. So they found different methods of how to fix scoliosis. And now that you learned about some of the history and some of the advancements of scoliosis in the back brace, I'm now going to tell you why I identify with scoliosis. So as I told you now that I've had scoliosis, and it's actually I was diagnosed with 22-degree scoliosis, and it's actually gone down to 18 degrees the last time I went to the doctors. And I was first diagnosed freshman year at the end of my high school career, I guess you can say. And I was actually on the running team, so I would do 2 days. I would go play volleyball at school or run track, and then after school my dad would have me run the hills with him. So I was pretty active, and then at the end of my seasons, I went to the doctors for physical examination, and they actually found that I had a curve on my spine. So I went in, and I thought nothing of it. I continued doing my sports, and I felt fine. And by the end of my sophomore year, I went to the point where I couldn't even get out of bed. And I was super stiff, and I would ditch school without my parents knowing because I was in great pain. And I would just, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know anything about scoliosis. I thought I was fine because I felt fine. And then towards the end of senior year, my mom actually started noticing that I was in bad pain. So I had to get out of my sports and do physical therapy, and that helped a little bit. But over the years, we found that chiropractor helped a lot. And it took a while for my parents to let me go to a chiropractor because they're very skeptical about different methods and how it can help me. So I went to the chiropractor and they relieved a lot of pain. And then my mom made me enroll in yoga classes. And it took me a while to get into the yoga class because I just thought that was for girls. So when I went in there, it helped me out a lot. And I still do it every day. And right now, my pain has lessened a lot. So now that you know the history of the back brace and scoliosis and why I identify with it, I just want to tell you guys that with knowing that how your spine should be straight and at the natural curve, that it's really important, because if you don't have a good spine, because we put a lot of weight on it, we're sitting at school like this, or driving, it's not, you don't have a good posture. So it symbolizes like great discipline that you need to have on your back, as well as focusing on keeping it straight. And I used to be lopsided like this, but now I'm kind of straight, better. My shoulder blades can move. So now that I've talked to you about the history, about Hippocrates discovering it, and how it's more common in girls, and boys can develop it over their growth spurts, and now how I identify with it, with how I was diagnosed, like, I hope that you guys can all leave here with better posture and focusing on not putting that much weight in your backpack for your backs. And that's it.